What up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Rob, back, man, with another reaction. You got the deadly war of Kodak Black versus Pressa, man. Let's see what he talking about. I ain't even know they was beefing or nothing, but I just seen it pop up on my
Over the years, Kodak Black has been on the news for several reasons, ranging from his legal troubles to some of the beefs he's been involved in. One of such beefs seems to have taken a turn for the worse in February this year. He was shot while in attendance at a party hosted by Justin Bieber, and the alleged trigger-happy hit individual was believed to be no other person than Canadian rapper Pressa. So why is Pressa suspected to have been behind the shooting, and is there any history of beef between these two rappers? This and much more is what I'll be talking about in this video. Before we start the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you'd like to join this month's giveaway for one of these items on the screen, then all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and then watch this video to the end to comment the hidden keyword. Good luck. On the 12th of February this year, Justin Bieber held an after-party at the Nice Guy restaurant in Los Angeles. It wasn't what could be determined a low-key party because various popular celebrities were in attendance. Movie stars like Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and big rappers like Drake were said to be present. Also, Amazon's CEO Jeff Bezos wasn't left out of the individuals invited to the party. The security at the party was top-notch due to the caliber.
That shit had to be private. Security had to be
were said to be present. Also, Amazon's CEO Jeff Bezos wasn't left out of the individuals invited to the party. The security at the party was top-notch due to the caliber of people in attendance. The party was all going smoothly, and I believe all in attendance were having a great time, connecting and doing whatever celebrities do when they get together for a party. I believe no one had any idea that the party would soon be interrupted by an unexpected event. Outside the Nice Guy restaurant, crowds were gathering. The crowd was a mix of excited fans who were hoping to catch a glimpse of their favorite celebrities, and also celebrities who were just arriving with their crew or personal securities. It didn't take long for Kodak Black to arrive on the scene, and as you would expect, he wasn't alone. He was with his crew and wasn't going to be left out of whatever was going on at Justin Bieber's party. According to a witness, Kodak Black and his crew proceeded to make their way to the back entrance to get into the party, but they weren't ready for what they encountered. The security team at the party had been informed for some reason that they should lock the door, and no one was to be further allowed inside. The security guards who had been stationed at the door took this directive seriously and were unmoved by the appearance of Kodak Black and his crew. They didn't care if he was a popular rap artist that had hit tracks to his name. Their job was important to them, and they took it seriously. At that point, Kodak Black and his crew were mad that they would miss out on whatever was going on at the grand party, but there was nothing much that they could do. Kodak Black could not attempt to force his way in because that would only make matters worse. He would only have created a scene, and that wouldn't have been too good for his reputation. To be honest, that would have been a crazy and silly thing to do, and if he had done that, he might have even ended up on the wrong side of the law. And judging by his numerous run-ins with the law, such a situation would have only added to his legal troubles. Kodak Black and his crew eventually did the wisest thing, and they retreated to their waiting vehicles. As Kodak Black and his crew began to make their way out of the venue, they decided that they weren't going to leave without at least doing something worthwhile. Kodak Black wasn't ready to leave like that, so he decided to stop and pose for some photos with some fans. If he knew the decision he took to wait and take photos was going to lead to a lot of commotion, he probably would have left the area immediately after not being let in by the security. Now, while Kodak Black was busy taking photos with the fans, something else was going on. One of his crew members had gotten into an altercation with another guy who is rumored to be part of Pressa's crew. At this point, it's not really clear what had led to the altercation. No one knows if the argument had broken out because the two guys had a previous unsettled score, or if they were just meeting for the first time, and the argument had just occurred spontaneously at that point. But word is that the argument had occurred due to a chain snatching situation that occurred at the party. It was said that someone from Kodak Black's crew had stolen the chain of someone from Pressa's crew, but it's not known if there is any truth in that. Now, the argument that had broken out turned violent, and the guy from Kodak Black's crew was said to have been slammed up on top of a red Ferrari that was parked at the location. I mean, the scene was beginning to look like a WWE match, except that the fighters were not placed in a ring, and there was no referee to determine the winner. At some point, Kodak Black stepped into the fight. He wasn't going to fold his hand and watch while his homie took some beatings. He took hold and began punching the unidentified individual that had gotten into a fight with his crewmate. It was at this point
he's tripping though, like he gotta get other people to do that shit though. But I feel him though, you feel me?
and began punching the unidentified individual that had gotten into a fight with his crew member. It was at this point that someone decided to bring out a gun and let off some gunshots. The shooter was probably getting bored of the trading of fists among the fighting individuals and decided that a gun would be a much faster way to settle the altercation. On the other hand, the shooter probably realized that Kodak Black and his crew were gaining the upper hand in the fight, and that didn't sit well with him. The sudden gunfire created an instant effect. It brought an end to the fighting among all the individuals and also scattered the crowd that had gathered to watch the free fight. In all, all, 10 shots were fired by the shooter, and after everything cleared, Kodak Black sustained a gunshot wound to the leg. He wasn't the only victim of the shooting incident. 3 other individuals, which were a 19-year-old teenager, a 22-year-old, and a 60-year-old man, were also injured. The men suffered gunshot wounds to the chest, shoulder, and leg. It was a graphic scene. It didn't take long for authorities and paramedics to get to the scene and attend to the injured. 2 of the victims were transported by paramedics to the hospital, while Kodak Black and another man had transported themselves to the hospital.
This nigga gonna get the shooting because he started losing the fight, bro. Like, you shouldn't, and you the one that even started it, so you just go out, bro.
It didn't take long for authorities and paramedics to get to the scene and attend to the injured. 2 of the victims were transported by paramedics to the hospital, while Kodak Black and another man had transported themselves to the hospital. Kodak Black had even left immediately in a vehicle after the shooting. Well, as it turned out, none of the 4 victims of the shooting incident had any life-threatening injuries. Also at the scene, an unidentified man was handcuffed by the authorities and taken into custody. But I should point out that the man that was arrested was not the shooter that caused the commotion on that day. According to witnesses, the man who shot at the people and the guy who started the fight were seen running off towards Beverly Center, and both had gone down an alley. At this point, it's not clear what the offense of the man arrested by the police had been.
I'm split confused now. Hey, if y'all boys is listening, y'all boys tell me, was the nigga that slammed the nigga on the truck, was that the shooter? Because that seemed like he the one that started getting beat up, and he the one that pulled out the gun after that.
And both had gone down an alley. At this point, it's not clear what the offense of the man arrested by the police had been. They had probably just arrested him for questioning, or they were in need of a scapegoat to link to the whole shooting incident. A statement by the Los Angeles Police Department regarding the incident reads, on February 12, 2022, around 2:45 a.m., Wilshire area police officers responded to gunshots heard in the 400 block of North La Cienega Boulevard. Upon arrival, officers located 2 victims of gunshot wounds. Preliminary investigation revealed there was a physical altercation between several individuals at the location. Gunshots were fired by an unknown suspect who fled south from the location. Following the incident, several footages of how things went down on the morning of the party began to emerge. Since the authorities had failed at identifying the shooter, the responsibility fell to a group known as the SMD, which is short for Social Media Detectives. Now, I must point out that the investigations and judgment of this group of detectives is sometimes faulted and have led to a lot of controversies, but at other times the investigations by this group are accurate. Now, after the Social Media Detectives properly analyzed the footage that was circulating the internet, a conclusion was reached, and it was believed that Pressa himself was the individual who pulled the trigger and injured 4 people on the morning of Justin Bieber's party. This claim received a lot of mixed reactions from fans of hip-hop, as many wondered if there was any truth in it. Some took it as the truth, while others felt the chances that Pressa was the shooter were very slim. In reaction to the rumor, one fan wrote, "Why the net saying Pressa shot Kodak, LOL. WTF." Another fan said, "This same Coi Leray boyfriend Pressa shot Kodak Black at Justin Bieber party."
It's the strangest shit I ever heard.
Now the question that people kept asking was if there had been any previous beef between the 2 rappers, and if there was any, what exactly was the beef about? The 2 rappers were based in different countries, so what exactly could have gone wrong? Now, as you'd expect, people began to speculate, and it was said that Pressa had released a diss track back in 2020. Which was aimed at Kodak Black. But if you ask me, there's no truth in that. The song, which was falsely tagged as a diss track, is titled Blackberry's App, and it featured one of Kodak Black's homie, Jack Boy. This supposed diss song was said to have been one of the reasons why Kodak Black and his crew had lost their cool upon spotting Pressa at the party. Now, if rapping about things like pouring codeine in Fanta and taking a trip and coming back with a sack like Santa feels like a shot of drops, then the song by Pressa can be considered a diss track. I say this because this was some of what Pressa was rapping about in his Blueberry Zap track. But since there was nothing in the song that hints at it being a diss track at Kodak Black, the rumor died a natural death. There was another rumor that also got out, which claimed that Pressa was not the shooter. The shooter was said to be Pressa's brother, who goes by the name BFR Bundog. It was said that Bundog had been at the Justin Bieber party with Pressa and a host of other guys from Pressa's crew. He had gotten mad when he saw
nigga's name.
Justin Bieber party with Pressa and a host of other guys from Pressa's crew. He had gotten mad when he saw Kodak Black fighting with one of his crew members and fired, and this had caused the injury Kodak Black.
So I already know. Okay, so the shooter was not the one that that slammed the nigga. Alright, I know
Kodak Black fighting with one of his crew members and fired, and this had caused the injury Kodak Black and the 3 other individuals sustained. At this point, this particular rumor is still up for confirmation. And since the authorities are yet to arrest the shooter, no one knows anything for sure. Following the shooting, Kodak Black's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, put out a statement regarding the shooting incident. In the statement, he had said that there was an unprovoked attack on an individual Kodak Black had been with. He had continued by saying that when security and Kodak Black came to his aid, several shots shots were fired at them by an unidentified assailant. He ended by saying that the whole situation had been caught on video. Now attention was shift from Pressa and his brother as being the alleged shooters at Justin Bieber's party. This had happened after a Clubhouse session by Wack 100. During the Clubhouse session, Wack 100 claimed that Kodak Black was shot due to his comments about Lauren London following the death of her partner, Nipsey Hussle. The comment Wack 100 was referring to was one Kodak Black had made back in April 2019, shortly after the brutal murder of Nipsey Hussle. Kodak Black had taken to his Twitter to shoot his shot at Lauren London, who was still grieving about the loss of her lover. The post he made reads, "Lauren London, that's baby though. She about to be out here single. She finna to be a whole widow out here. I'll be the best man I can be for her. I give her a whole year. She might need a whole year to be crying and shit for Nipsey."
My nigga, Lauren London, that baby though. She finna be out here single. She finna be a whole widow out here. I'd be the best man I could be, fuck.
After the post got out, many felt that Kodak Black's comments were inappropriate, and some fans were even angry at his insensitivity. Now, according to Wack 100, Kodak Black's presence at Justin Bieber's party was the perfect opportunity that was used to punish him for the insensitive and inappropriate post he had made back then. During the Clubhouse session, Wack 100 had said, "Niggas out here tripping on Kodak man on some clout chasing shit," said Wack, talking about, "What's that shit you said about Lauren London? Man, get the fuck out of here." But Kodak got off. Kodak Black would eventually come out to dismiss the claim in an interview by saying that there was no truth in it. I must also mention that a few days after the incident, Kodak Black took to Instagram Live to address his fans about the shooting. In the video, he could be seen in a room with another man and both of them had bandages on their legs. Also in the video, Kodak Black could be heard regarding the injury he sustained as only a little scratch. "I ain't hiding in shit, this is what it is. I done stood up in shootouts. I done stood up in multiple shootouts and ain't never get scratched, just a little scratch." What do you think about the whole situation? Who do you think was the shooter at the party? Do you think it was Pressa, or do you think it was someone else entirely? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's all I've got for you on this video. Feel free to let me know what you think about it. Hey you, you. Did you like the video? Great.
Hey man, y'all better tell me who y'all think it was. Y'all better tell me in the comments, man. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, and I'm out, man.